What resources should people seek out if they want to learn more about a critical scholarly approach to the Bible? Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and I get this question a lot. In fact, somebody asked this question last night at a book event here in Clarkdale, Arizona. And I always start by recommending a good study Bible. And the one I recommend right now is the SPL Study Bible, which has a lot of wonderful introductions to each book of the Bible that talk about authorship, that talk about date, that talk about literary style and rhetorical goals and all that kind of stuff. It has wonderful explanatory notes in the bottom. It also has little mini essays in sidebars throughout the text. It also incorporates the updated edition of the New Revised Standard Version, the NRSV UE, which is only a few years old. Now, there's going to be a 6th edition of the new Oxford Annotated Bible coming out within the next year or two that will also incorporate the NRSV UE into their own wonderful study Bible. So that will also be a very good study Bible when it comes out. And then there's also the Jewish Study Bible that is in a 2nd edition if you're looking for just the Hebrew Bible. And I also recommend the Jewish Annotated New Testament, which is the NRSV's New Testament with commentary from Jewish scholars that set up the Jewish setting for what's being discussed in the New Testament and talk about how it reflects certain Jewish perspectives from the 1st century CE. The next thing I usually recommend is a history of the Bible, specifically the book A History of the Bible by John Barton. The subtitle is The Book and Its Faiths. I think this is the best history of the Bible that is available today. It talks about where the Bible came from, it talks about how it came together, how it was canonized, and then how it has traditionally been read by both Jewish and Christian groups. Don't think you can do better than that for a history of the Bible. The next step, I would say, would be good introductions to the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament. For the Hebrew Bible, John Collins's An Introduction to the Hebrew Bible has always been wonderful. It's in a 3rd or 4th edition right now. I would highly recommend that one. And for the New Testament, I would recommend Bart Ehrman and Hugo Mendez's The New Testament, which is in the 8th edition, I believe. And then the next step would be critical commentaries. And if you're just looking for the Torah, I would recommend the JPS Torah commentary series. I think that's wonderful. And then they also have commentaries for the rest of the Tanakh. I think for the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament together, the commentaries that cover that most effectively, the 4 best critical commentary series, in my opinion, would be the Hermeneia commentary series, the Anchor Yale Bible commentary series, the OTL and NTL, that stands for Old Testament Library, and then New Testament Library, and then the International Critical Commentary series. I think those do a phenomenal job of taking a good close look at individual books of the Bible and going verse by verse through them, discussing the language, discussing the context, discussing history of interpretation and things like that. And if you want to take a step beyond that, I'm afraid you're going to have to start enrolling in degree programs. But hopefully that's helpful for y'all. And the fit for this video has been the Todd McFarlane Amazing Spider-Man.